Ever since Genie Plus and Lightning Lane made their debut at Walt Disney World, it's been filled with mixed opinions. Today, we're talking about the change that Disney just made to Genie Plus and Lightning Lane, how I think it's actually a really good thing, and how they can continue to make improvements to the program in the future, and kind of what I learned from Cedar Point that can play into this. For those who don't know, maybe you haven't been to Disney in a while, no problem. The Genie Plus service has replaced the FastPass service at Walt Disney World. You now have to pay to get that accelerated line at Walt Disney World. Right now, at the time of this recording, it's $15 per person per day. Going kind of further into it, you pay that amount to go into the Lightning Lane line for attractions that you reserve through your phone. In addition, in the past, it's been like, oh, I'm going to get this, Peter Pan's flight at 9 in the morning, then Space Mountain at 11 in the morning, and then all I have left is Buzz Lightyear at 8 p.m. I can't get anything between now and then. So is it really worth it? That's a decision I'm going to leave to you, and we'll talk about it in another video. But Disney's made a huge change to this program now. Let's talk about the change that Disney made. So Genie Plus, we understand it, $15 per person per day. Make reservations on your phone. You get to go quicker in the lines sometimes. With Lightning Lane, you have to pay an a la carte style, meaning that if you want to go on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, even if you have Genie Plus, or even if you don't, you have to pay that additional amount, whether it be $14, $17, it can vary, to go on Genie Plus for Lightning Lane, depending on the time of year. The big update here is the fact that Disney is including some pretty big attractions to the Genie Plus list, not necessarily on the a la carte list for just purchasing Lightning Lane, including Magic Kingdom's Space Mountain, Epcot's Frozen Ever After, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Hollywood Studios' Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway, and Disney's Animal Kingdom Expedition, Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. When was the last time I used the full title of Expedition? Everybody just calls it Expedition Everest, but it's great no matter what. So this means that if you have Genie Plus, you'll be able to access these attractions as part of the Genie Plus package. Doesn't necessarily guarantee that you'll be able to get these attractions, which is a whole part of the problem, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But this is a really positive thing. Disney has realized that purchasing $15 per person per day is expensive for a lot of families, but other families have actually relative ease with it and have kind of wrapped it up with, okay, things are more expensive now, so we're going to have to just kind of pay more for our Disney vacation. A lot of guests are using the service. It's a positive and a negative. The positive is that more guests are using the service and more money for Disney to build new things at Disney World. I'm going to say that's the positive. The negative is it means that every line is longer. You can go and Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and you can wait for 80 minutes when it clearly could have been a 30-minute wait. No, I mean, even less probably, just because the Lightning Lane Genie Plus is just funneling tons and tons of people through the line. And basically, it's become the norm. If you don't get Genie Plus, you're going to be waiting in super long lines. They don't have to be this long, but because of Genie Plus, they are. Now, we've talked a little bit about it before, but one of the issues that a lot of us have run into is the fact that if you don't buy Genie Plus, you're really out of luck because your lines are going to be much longer than they should be. If you buy Genie Plus, you'll get on a few of those attractions that you really want, but a lot of them are not going to be available to you once you choose those 1, 2, or possibly 3 during the day for your entire family. By the time you get to the end of the third attraction, it may be the end of the night. With Lightning Lane, you do have the ability to purchase that, a la carte option, but it's only available for 4 attractions. They're all great attractions, but you're kind of lost in the middle here. It feels like everyone kind of is giving up a little bit of that magic. That's just my opinion. Some people agree, some people don't agree. No problem. Feel free to let me know your thoughts. But one thing that I think is really interesting here is the fact that Disney is starting to realize that guests are willing to pay for the expedited service. However, I don't think they're getting that service that they're paying for. So guests come to the park. I overhear it as I'm walking around. They say to themselves, this is just, why did we pay $15 for this? We're standing in a huge line to go into Test Track. It's out the door for Lightning Lane. Just imagine what standby is going to be like. But the Lightning Lane line is incredibly long. And all of these guests pay $15 per person per day in order to have the right to reserve a spot on their phone during the day. Maybe it was like for 4 hours into the future and then stand in this line. Is it going to move faster than standby? Of course it is. But it doesn't mean that they feel like they have that premium access. Disney's playing this game where it's kind of in between, where it's like, it's not crazy expensive and it's not, the standard ticket price. It's causing, in my opinion, a bit of an issue. But again, as I said, I think this move is a positive direction. The reason for it is because of our experiences at Cedar Point. Recently, I went to Cedar Point, had an amazing time. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. It was so much fun. I love those roller coasters. Everything about the area just kind of screamed like classic Americana roller coaster coast. It was awesome. I hope to go back. I loved it that much. when I went, I had the option to purchase I'm going to say $60 ticket to get into Cedar Point. Don't think that included parking, but that's the general idea. And that seems like an amazing deal, right? Like, oh my gosh, Cedar Point, $60, I got to do that. And apparently for those who live in the area, it's even less, which is great. However, since I knew I was only going once for a while anyway, I probably won't be back for a while, but who knows? I decided to pay the extra amount. I think it was a total $300, from $60 to $300 to get the Fast Lane Plus. So I paid an extreme premium. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting here right now after going on that experience and being a guy who loves the parks, and I can tell you, I feel like it was worth every penny. My question to you, if you buy Genie Plus and don't buy the individual lightning lanes, do you feel like you got the most for your money for that service? Do you feel like you got every penny's worth for that service? That's the big question of the day. I personally think that many guests are going to say no. Feel free to disagree. Let me know in the comments. But for me, that premium access where there was basically no lines. I waited probably like 25 minutes for one attraction, but that was only because it shut down. Every other attraction was like 10 minutes. When the line was 2 hours long, the regular line was 2 hours long, I waited for 10 minutes. That is premium access. A lot more expensive, but basically no one was in line with me, or an extremely low amount of people were in line with me, and I just cut the entire line because I paid the premium. I'm not saying that Disney prices should go up, all right? Disney prices are already too expensive in my opinion, all right? Some people agree, some people don't, but I think they're too expensive already. In this one instance, I think they've got to remodel Genie Plus and Lightning Lane in order to make it so it is that premium access, and at the same time, for those who paid admission to the park, which is already really expensive, you still feel like you get that full experience. It's like you do not feel like a third class. You're not pushed all the way below everyone else because you didn't pay the extra 15, the extra 17 per person per ride for Lightning Lane. Instead, I think a better strategy would be if Disney took something out of kind of either Universal's playbook or out of Cedar Point's playbook here, where they have that premium. You have to pay a significant amount. Maybe you're only going once in your whole life, right? That's fine. But that way, the standby line doesn't get backed up either. Everyone gets that more magical experience. It's one change to make the whole thing better. I think that this update that Disney has done to Genie Plus is the first step in a kind of a road to get to that point, where eventually, again, Michael's prediction here, it will be more than $15 per person per day. I think it's going to end up being like, I'm going to say something like ridiculous, like $50 or $60 per person per day, maybe even more. But then you don't have to have any reservations on your phone. Think about that for a moment, or even more. Let's change it up entirely. Let's pretend it's $100 per person per day, and then you don't have to make 0 reservations on your phone. Every single attraction in the park is available to you, every single one. And then everyone else goes in standby. It's a perfect solution. The lines for Lightning Lane would be nice and short. The lines for standby would move at a more reasonable pace. It works for everyone. I think that they should take something out of Cedar Point's or Universal's playbook and really make this better. That's my opinion. So to be clear, Disney has changed it so that the a la carte Lightning Lanes are only Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Avatar Flight of Passage, and Rise of Resistance. Of course, it's Hollywood Studios' most popular attraction, Rise of the Resistance. So all those are not included with Genie Plus. All the other attractions are included with Genie Plus, the ones that originally were anyway. Let me know your thoughts about this. Do you think that it makes more sense for Disney to charge more of a premium, but then less people would buy it? So that, for example, if I decided, hey, I want to go to the park, and I'm just going to go and standby, yes, maybe I'm waiting longer than a person who paid an additional $100 per person per day to go, no reservations. You can park hop, you can go to any attraction, go in Guardians, all these things, no problem. But like one time, like you can't go multiple times on Guardians, just as given my example, but do you think that idea would work? Do you think that makes more sense? I think this is a step in the right direction, but a couple more steps are needed to make it a much better system. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I definitely want to hear from you. A special thanks to our patrons for making all of our videos possible, and thanks to you for watching. Until next time, have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.